Wuthering Heights once echoed through teen bedrooms on vinyl. Now, decades later, Kate Bush inspires Gen Z playlists through streaming waves. Her wild red mane has softened to silver curls, her mystique intact. No longer elusive, she curates soundscapes, not charts, mentoring composers behind studio doors. Once defiant in leather and eyeliner, belting love is a battlefield under stadium lights, Pat Benatar now leans into advocacy, championing women's rights with equal fire. Her stance is softer, hair elegantly swept, but her voice, though less public, is sharper than ever, echoing through causes, not choruses. Like a switchblade kept sharp with time, Joan Jett's edge never dulled, only refined. From snarling "I love rock and roll" on smoky stages to producing indie bands today, she's traded black leather for tailored grit. Her jet hair's shorter, her posture just as fierce, still a rebel, but now with protégés. Once the shy blonde behind ABBA's soaring harmonies, Agnetha now walks wooded trails in Sweden, silver hair tucked beneath the wool hat. Her pop stardom gave way to solitude by choice, trading stadium roars for the quiet echo of her own songs, still guiding generations with crystalline strength. Bitch was a feminist roar in '97, blasting from dorm rooms and car radios alike. Today, Meredith Brooks wears soft denim, her streaked hair untamed, producing for young rebels chasing truth. The edge remains, less anger, more intention, as she navigates a music world now ruled by algorithms, not angst. Like a lighthouse that once blazed through stormy seas, Helen Reddy's anthem, "I Am Woman," lit the path for millions. Before her passing in 2020, she traded red carpets for advocacy, her voice softened but still resolute, proof the legacy built on courage never truly fades with time. Once the provocateur in cone bras and lace gloves, now Madonna bends time itself, her face sculpted, her style ever-evolving. From MTV Trailblazer to TikTok curiosity, she swapped stadiums for curated chaos. Behind the spectacle, she steers a legacy, directing, investing, building an empire on her own terms. "Can't Get You Out of My Head" pulsed through clubs in the early 2000s. Now Kylie Minogue brings that same shimmer to intimate stages and boutique wine labels. Her curls are sleeker, smile seasoned, energy undimmed. Once a pop pixie, now a savvy brand, navigating reinvention with disco in her veins. Like velvet aged into mahogany, Gladys Knight's voice has deepened with grace. Midnight Train to Georgia carried generations. Now she lifts new voices in gospel halls and foundations. Her gown's now simpler, her presence larger. At 80, she stands not behind hits, but beside the future she helped build. Sequins once caught the spotlight. Now Dolly Parton shines through billion-dollar books and vaccines. Her towering hair is softer now, but her wit sharper than ever. From honky-tonk sweetheart to philanthropic titan, she rewrote the rules, proving rhinestones can fund revolutions. Total Eclipse of the Heart once echoed through roller rinks and heartbreaks. Now Bonnie Tyler sings it with gravel and grace, her tousled mane a silver blaze. No longer chasing charts, she champions rock's raw soul, her voice still cracked with emotion, now layered with hard-earned calm. Remember that velvet voice in All Around the World? Lisa Stansfield's curls are cropped now, her style minimalist, but her soul still sings with Northern Soul swagger. Steering clear of trends, she mentors indie artists, redefining cool not by volume, but by quiet conviction and depth. From tabloid sensation to chart-topping siren with Touch Me, Samantha Fox once ruled 80s dance floors in leather and peroxide. Today, her blonde is softer, her gaze sharper. She tours selectively, advocates for LGBTQ+ rights, and pens memoirs, choosing candor and cause over flashbulbs and fame. Before we continue these amazing celebrity transformations, here's a quick challenge for you. Can you subscribe to Then vs. Now Legends in the next 5 seconds? Smash that subscribe button and join us on this journey through time with your favorite stars. Like a mountain stream weathered into wisdom, Judy Collins flows where folk once surged. Both sides now gave voice to a generation. Now, at 86, she performs seated, silver hair luminous, still precise. Between shows, she mentors young poets. Her legacy less about hits, more about healing. Happy Birthday made Claire Grogan the face of 80s whimsy. Now, with cropped copper hair and a playwright's pen, she crafts stories off stage. Acting, writing, mentoring, her creativity outgrew pop charts. Less sparkle, more substance. She chose narrative over nostalgia and never looked back. Once her raspy fire on Betty Davis eyes cut through the synth-laced 80s, now Kim Carnes writes in quiet corners of Nashville. Her blonde bob faded to silver ash. She stepped back from fame, not music, choosing to sculpt behind the scenes, where lyrics still smolder with that unmistakable grit. Blasting through MTV screens with Kids in America, Kim Wilde was all neon rebellion. Today, she gardens under English skies, her once spiked hair now soft waves. Far from the chaos of pop tours, she cultivates new life, literally and musically, rooted in calm, not charts. Like velvet pulled across a quiet room, Anita Baker's voice once wrapped the world in soul. Today, her cropped curls frame a graceful stillness. She's retired from touring but not from influence. Streaming may rule now, but her analog warmth remains the blueprint for intimacy in R&B. Once spinning in satin on MTV with Heaven is a Place on Earth, Belinda Carlisle now finds peace far from the spotlight, barefoot in India, practicing Buddhism. Her red hair is now cropped, her voice mellower but firm. She tours by choice, not demand, embracing clarity over chaos, balance over buzz. In the 90s, she stood fierce in fringe and fire-red curls, belting country hits like Fancy. Now Reba McEntire blends music with business and screen roles. Her voice carries depth, her look refined, posture proud. She mentors quietly, shaping Nashville from boardrooms as much as backstage. Like gold spun into silk, Shirley Bassey's power has mellowed but never faded. Goldfinger once rattled rafters. Now she sings for royal galas, her gowns grander, her presence almost mythic. At 88, she's retired from tours, but not reverence. Her influence still echoes in every diva who dares. From baggy boots and heartbreak ballads to Oscars and power suits, Mary J. Blige has become her own salvation. Her golden braids now crown a woman unshaken, more sculptor than survivor. Once the voice of pain, now a beacon of purpose, she builds space for Black women to thrive beyond the beat. A tambourine, shawls in motion, and a voice like smoke, Stevie Nicks once cast spells on rock's biggest stages. Now, at 76, she stands as matriarch and muse, her curls softer, her gaze sharper. In an era of fleeting fame, she endures, penning lyrics younger stars still borrow to feel immortal. She danced in spandex through physical, then glided into country calm and cancer advocacy. Before her passing in 2022, Olivia Newton-John radiated peace, her once blonde waves silvering with grace. A pop icon, yes, but also a healer who turned her spotlight into lasting light for others. She once ruled disco's Mirrorball kingdom with hot stuff and a voice that lit dance floors. When synths faded and charts changed, she turned inward, painting, raising a family, choosing faith over fame. Gone in 2012, but her legacy pulses on in every bass line that dares to shimmer. Like a lighthouse aging through storms, Carly Simon's voice still cuts through fog with truth. You're So Vain once dripped with youth's venom. Now, her silver curls and softened gaze tell stories of survival, not scandal. She writes children's books now, gentler, but no less bold. Picture her a bleach blonde, snarling into punk mics with Blondie's Heart of Glass. Today, her platinum's streaked with steel gray, her stance less wild, more grounded. She champions aging out loud, curates art shows, and reminds a new wave of rebels how to age without apology. Like a canvas weathered by storms, Joni Mitchell's voice now carries the grain of survival. Once the ethereal poet of both sides now, she paints with silence and sound alike, her hair silvered, posture slower. After strokes and seclusion, she returned, fragile, fierce, and utterly her own. In the 70s, and Wilson's voice could crack concrete, leading heart with operatic fire. Today, at 74, she wears leather with purpose, not flash. Her dark curls streaked with iron, she mentors with grit, reminding a digital generation that real power doesn't stream, it roars from within. She once shredded beside her sister in Arena Thunder, blonde hair flying as heart's melodic force. Now Nancy Wilson crafts acoustic scores and indie projects, her style clean-lined, her gaze introspective. No longer chasing spotlight highs, she composes stories that resonate in quiet, lasting waves. Man, I feel like a woman, once blasted from every radio, her leopard print and defiance redefining country pop. Now 59, her curls are looser, her voice lower, but her spark? Undimmed. After battling illness and silence, she returned on her own terms, bolder, seasoned, self-produced. Like a chameleon with a punk soul, Gwen Stefani shed ska, embraced pop, and danced through decades. From Just a Girl Rebellion to TV's glossy mentor, her look, once bindis and plaid, is now couture meets motherhood, still painting her world in sharp eyeliner and softer truths. Once the pop ingenue in pigtails and pleats, now she moves with a freedom hard-won. At 43, Britney Spears posts barefoot dances from sunlit rooms. No stage, no script. After years of legal silence, her evolution isn't a comeback, it's a reclamation of self, raw and unscripted. From teen pop powerhouse to soulful provocateur, Christina Aguilera now curates her image with intention. Her platinum hair is sculpted, her voice still volcanic. No longer bound by bubblegum beats, she mentors young divas, proof that reinvention isn't retreat, but a return to deeper truths. Fishnet gloves, black eyeliner, and post-punk defiance, Susie Sue once haunted stages like a goth priestess. Today, at 67, she emerges sparingly, her jet hair streaked with steel. She carved space for the weird and wild, and still guards it fiercely decades beyond the spotlight's glare. Try Again wasn't just a song, it was Aaliyah's quiet battle cry. Before her tragic death in 2001, she redefined R&B with whisper-smooth vocals and futuristic grace. Gone far too young, she left more than hits. She birthed an aesthetic, a standard, a silence that still echoes in every slow jam. Once draped in satin and spotlight with ABBA's harmonies soaring through Fernando, Annie Frid now lives quietly in Switzerland, far from Eurovision stages. Her auburn glam has mellowed to soft waves and grace, but her legacy hums on in the vinyl stacks and dance floors of Gen Z. She was the wildfire spark of the Pointer Sisters, disco heels, velvet vocals, pure kinetic joy. Bonnie's journey flared and flickered, her solo stride marked by brilliance and struggle. Gone in 2014, but her rhythm still ripples through every artist chasing both groove and grit. From Rhinestone Cowgirl to Silvermane Sage, Emmylou Harris once harmonized with legends and heartbreak alike. Now 78, she mentors young musicians and rescues animals, her posture straighter than ever. Her ballads no longer mourn lost love, they honor time's steady rhythm. Sequins once caught every flashbulb as Diana Ross reigned from Motown to disco royalty. Now, at 81, her curls are looser, her gaze still commanding. She no longer needs the stage to be seen. Her legacy sings through generations, a masterclass in elegance, ambition, and staying entirely herself. Paper Roses once framed her as America's sweetheart, but Marie Osmond evolved past porcelain smiles. Today she helms charities. Her dark waves died with intent, not nostalgia. From teen TV to business savvy, she outpaced the industry's shelf life by turning reinvention into tradition. When Dolores O'Riordan wailed through Zombie, it wasn't just a protest, it was a primal hymn. Before her sudden passing in 2018, she softened her edge, mothered quietly, and recorded anew. Her limerick lilt lives on, echoing through playlists and protest signs across continents. Stupid Girls snarled through speakers in the 90s, her flame-red hair and glare a rebellion anthem. Now 59, Shirley Manson's style is sleeker, her voice deeper, but she's still fierce. Hosting podcasts, fighting industry ageism, and proving angst can age with elegance and fire. Like coal pressed into a country diamond, Loretta Lynn turned poverty into poetry. Coal miner's daughter gave voice to working women everywhere. When she passed in 2016, she left behind more than songs. She carved a space where raw truth could twang louder than Nashville polish. She once cartwheeled through MTV in neon wigs and punk glee. Girls just want to have fun on repeat. Now 71, her hair's still wild, but her mission's deeper. A fierce LGBTQ+ advocate and Broadway composer, she's aging in Technicolor, still loud, still luminous, still hers. She once whispered sultry truths through Smooth Operator. Now Sadadu lives far from cameras, wrapped in linen and privacy. Her signature braid is silvered, her aura unchanged, timeless by evasion, not exposure. In an age of overshare, she proves mystery is the boldest kind of power. From Rhythm Nation to Quiet Revolution, Janet Jackson's journey spans velvet control and hard-earned grace. At 59, her style is sleek, her moves fewer but fierce. No longer just Michael's sister or pop's provocateur, she commands space as icon, mother, and master of her own narrative. She sprinted barefoot across stages, defied abuse and obscurity, and roared through What's Love Got to Do with It. Before her passing in 2016, Tina Turner retired to Swiss calm, her hair cropped, spirit intact. Not faded, but fulfilled. Her voice remains, a gospel of grit and rebirth. Once a flame-haired icon in a men's suit, her voice slicing through sweet dreams. Now Annie Lennox channels her power into activism and quiet art. At 70, her cropped silver hair and serene gaze speak of purpose. She left the charts behind, but amplified something deeper, impact. Her morning train once carried her to global stardom, fresh-faced, with a voice built for ballads and synth beats. Now 66, she performs selectively, her look more refined, her pace slower by choice. Offstage, she mentors young singers, trading spotlights for steady legacy. She hit like a thunderclap with Transvision Vamp, bold lipstick, louder opinions, rawer edges. At 59, Wendy James wears her years like a leather jacket, weathered but defiant. Self-producing albums and sidestepping nostalgia tours, she's rewriting punk's rulebook on aging. Doo-wop that thing. Once crowned Lauryn Hill a prophet in hip-hop's golden era. Now she appears when she chooses, dreadlocks longer, her presence rarer but potent. She rejected fame's leash for artistic autonomy, trading charts for truth, and left a blueprint generations still chase. Once a fly girl dancing on 90s TV, now a global brand in heels and diamonds, Jennifer Lopez redefined hustle. At 55, her glow is curated, her steps intentional. She moves between stages and boardrooms, not chasing youth, but commanding legacy with choreography that never misses a beat. She swayed through Walk Like an Egyptian with jangly guitars and almond eyes that own the 80s. Today, Susanna Hoffs wears vintage denim and pens novels, her voice softer but sure. Far from Bangles' fame, she crafts slow-burning art, less radio gold, more whispered permanence. Once crowned, then cast aside, Vanessa Williams rose higher, with Save the Best for Last echoing across charts and eras. At 62, her elegance is quieter, her roles richer. No longer chasing approval, she acts, sings, and shapes culture. On Broadway, on screen, on her own terms. Back then, hoops, high tops, and looking for a new love, pulsing through boomboxes. Now 68, Jodie Watley curates her legacy with digital finesse, independent releases, and radiant self-styling. She taught the industry how to dance and how to own your masters while doing it. Like smoke curling from a vintage amp, Alana Miles' Black Velvet still haunts with its bluesy allure. At 66, she keeps a low profile. No glitz, just grit. Her raven hair is now streaked with storm gray, but her voice? Still thunderous. She chose depth over the chart machine. Vision of Love changed the pop blueprint. 5 octaves, butterfly glam, unshakable control. Now 59, Mariah Carey's curls are sleeker, her presence more self-directed. No longer just a chart queen, she authors memoirs, reclaims her narrative, and defies time with signature glitter. Like a petal caught mid-fall, Natalie Imbruglia's voice in Torn made heartache sound ethereal. At 50, the tousled pixie cut is back, now framing a woman who writes, acts, and raises a son far from tabloid flash. She chose authenticity over the noise and found quieter fame. Once Nashville's golden girl with a stadium smile and breathe on every radio, now Faith Hill moves with slower grace and deeper conviction. At 57, she shares the spotlight with family, embraces screen roles, and lets the silence between notes carry just as much weight. Like a storm bottled in glass, Fiona Apple has always shattered softly. Criminal made her a reluctant icon, frail, fierce, unwilling to conform. Now 48, she lives far from fame's glare, crafting raw albums from home. No makeup, no pretense, just rhythm, rage, and radical honesty. Red curls cascading, piano pounding like thunder. Tori Amos once bared her soul on every stage with Cornflake Girl haunting the 90s. Now 61, she tours less, teaches more, and writes with mythic clarity. Her voice is earthier, her gaze steadier, but the fire never dimmed. Like a glacier sculpted by time, Bjork's artistry defies shape. Once swan-dressed and synth-swirled in hyper-ballad, now a 59-year-old sonic architect. Her look is calmer, her layers more intricate. She scores nature, grief, and rebirth, no longer chasing trends, but carving terrain. From candy pop starlet with butterfly clips to Emmy-nominated matriarch on This Is Us, Mandy Moore grew in plain sight. At 41, her style is rooted, her voice lower, her goals clearer. She paused music to raise a family, but her return proved evolution can be melodic too. Then Versus Now Legends is feeling a bit lonely. 99% of you haven't subscribed yet. Show us some love and hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you the jaw-dropping journeys of your favorite stars. And if you're as fascinated by then and now glow-ups as we are, check out our previous videos. Trust us, they're totally worth your time and ours too.